French seams are a great option for when you're working with more delicate fabrics like this or this. They probably did the side seams of those tops with a French seam, and today I'm going to show you how to make one. We're going to start by bringing wrong sides of the fabric together. This is the right side and this is the wrong side, so you want those wrong sides to be touching, and then we're going to add some pins perpendicular to the raw edge of the fabric. I like to think of one of the overarching goals of sewing is to hide the raw edges of the woven fabric, and this is just one way to do so. You're going to set your stitch length to 2.5, and then you are going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance with your presser foot right up against the raw edge of the fabric. Now it's time to give our fabric a little haircut, and we're going to trim off just a bit. We're making sure to mainly trim off those loose threads, but we're also going to trim down the fabric to about 1/8 of an inch, but don't cut it too short because now we are going to press that seam open with our iron. Just super gently. I'm getting all steamy up in here. It helps to just gently rest the nose of the iron on to press that open. Now that it's pressed open, we are going to close it up so that right sides are now touching. We are going to add some pins so that we can do another line of stitching. A little shopping hack for knowing if your clothes are good quality is to take a look at the side seams and to see if it was finished with a serger or done as a French seam. If it was done with a French seam, it's generally going to be better quality because it's a little bit more time consuming. Now that we added our pins, we are going to do another line of stitching, but we're going to use a 1/2 inch seam allowance. To get a 1/2 inch seam allowance, you want the edge of your fabric to be lined up with that little 1/2 inch mark on the metal plate of your sewing machine, or you can use a magnetic seam guide. And here's the final result. This is my go-to seam for side seams, for dresses, for skirts, but go ahead and drop a comment if you're curious if a French seam would be a good option for whatever project you're working on.